All right, welcome everyone to the first ever Wildlife Chef with Reptile Encounters. We're going to wait for a few people to join us while we get started, but these are our amazing contestants and we're going to start introducing them. So the first one is Tia.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name's Tia and I'm a wildlife chef. I am really passionate about cooking with Australian land invertebrates, so all our creepy crawlies, because in my opinion, they are really the food source that makes the world go round, and they are the foundation to all life on Earth, and that's what I'm going to try and get in first at our wildlife kitchen today.
Awesome. Our second contestant is Dan.
How you going? Why am I here? That's a good question. I'm passionate about our wildlife and giving them a good meal, so I thought that I'd get involved and chop some veggies for some lizards.
Excellent.
That's about all you're going to get out of me.
Wonderful. Our next contestant
Hi guys,
is Josh.
I'm Josh. I'm passionate about all things Chiroptera, or bats, flying foxes, and I'm keen to make them an unreal cocktail. And in the future, I'd love to open a cocktail bar for all wild bats.
Excellent. And then we have Rianne.
I'm Rianne, and I don't really know why I'm here, except that I love preparing all of our animals here at Reptile Encounters some really, really nice food. So, gonna get some native foods and some of my animals' absolute favorite foods in today.
Excellent. So, today our contestants have 10 minutes to cook their animals their favorite meal. And the clock is going to start now. Go, everybody! Get into your pantries.
Social distancing.
Too much traffic in the kitchen.
What? Okay. Now.
We have a wonderful selection of fresh fruits and vegetables for our animals to enjoy, as well as a few other extra
keep it fresh.
wonderful things.
It has to be fresh, otherwise it'd be ridiculous.
We've also got...
We are looking for a food sponsor. Coles, Woolies.
So I'm going to come over. Josh, tell us what you're doing.
What am I doing? I'm preparing the watermelon, which will be the base fruit for this amazing cocktail. So these particular bats, they love fresh fruit. They get a lot of their water and their moisture out of the food that they eat. So watermelon is obviously nice and watery. It's delicious, and our bats love it. So it's the first ingredient.
Excellent. Tia, why don't you tell us what you're doing?
Alright, oh my gosh, they're all gonna run everywhere! Alrighty, so what I'm actually doing is producing the main course of my meal, and I'm going to use some scrumptious medium-sized crickets. These guys grow a little bit bigger than this because the judge I'm trying to impress today mostly eats insects, and I've just found out that they are all running off my plate today. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to grab my trusty spoon, I'm going to bring them down here. So if you can zoom in and have a little good check out of my technique here, I'm just going to squish the heads. So see how that stops them dead in their tracks. They're now not moving, and I have quite the jar to get through, so I better get at it. Should we add a couple of more? Oh, here we go.
All right, we will leave you to that, and we will catch up and see what Rianne's up to.
I am preparing some food for my absolute favorite animal here, and one of his favorite foods is banana, because he likes to hop around on the ground and eat fallen fruits. So I feel like I'm cheating a bit because I know what he likes to eat. So
Wonderful. Josh, why don't you talk about your methodology here?
We know that presentation is everything. We eat with our eyes, so I'm layering in the fruit into this cocktail. Thanks, Dan. Layering in the fruit accordingly so it looks gorgeous from the outside. So, as you can see, I've got 2 layers happening there. So on top of the watermelon, we've added some pear. So our bats love to have a couple of different foods or fruits, as Ryan would say, in their daily meals. So yes, so it's looking great. And there's going to be a few more finishing touches to come.
We'll come back and catch up with you then. Dan, why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So I'm preparing a meal today for one of my favourite animals, and I know that they go for colour. In the wild, they'll eat things like flowers a lot when flowers are available at the right times of year. So I've decided to go for some colour, and presentation is key. But my presentation is going to be rad. I had an idea like a bolt of lightning. Straight inspiration. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's get a really good view of what everyone is up to here. Remember, guys.
Any Gordon Ramsays out there?
Probably not appropriate for the kids.
Oh, Mitchell's here. He's wanting to know what eats flowers.
Well, good question, Mitch.
Lots of things like to eat flowers, depending on the time of year, but the animal that I'm preparing for is shinglebacks.
Wow, all right. Some little sneaky reveals.
You spoiled it instantly, Josh.
Let me out of the bag.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the animal you're preparing for, Tia?
All right, so I'm not actually going to give away my animal's species, but I will give you a few hints. So my animal has feathers. It loves eating insects, and I'm still squishing my crickets here. I've gotten to a bit of a different technique now. I'm actually squishing them in the jar. And the reason why I'm doing this in the wild, when this feathery creature, that I will not disclaim, will actually catch those insects, she will, or he, will hold it in that big, thick, hard beak of theirs and actually whack it onto a branch to actually try and kill that insect before they swallow it. So that's another reason, and I'm trying to go really hard for a creative approach here. My creature is not a herbivore. It does not eat plants. But I am trying to make this as beautiful as possible, and I'm picking some gum because a lot of our native animals rely on eucalyptus forests to survive, including this animal as well, but she doesn't quite eat those eucalyptus leaves, so I'm going with the whole ecological theme here.
Awesome. Remember, guys, you are going to be helping us vote at the very end. You're going to be taking some reactions and telling us what our animals may think of their food. Rianne, do you want to tell us a little bit of a sneak peek into the animal you might be preparing for?
Well, you actually met him if you tuned in this morning. He is a small hopping mammal. I'm not going to give mine away either. But yes, he's one of our absolute favorites here at Reptile Encounters. He comes out to shows all the time. And he loves truffles. So I have used mushrooms in my meal today.
It looks like the finishing touches are being put onto Josh's meal here. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's looking pretty good, I think. I think our judge today is going to be very impressed. Oh. What do you reckon, guys? Give us some feedback.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking so far.
Do I have the best apron you've ever seen?
We do have a comment about your apron there, Daniel.
Did you just call me Daniel?
I did call you Daniel.
You gotta be careful, Faye.
The size of the knife I'm bringing.
We have some comments saying we have a phenomenal plating happening here. Are you setting up some finishing touches, Dan?
I'm getting there. It's all will come together shortly.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what else is on your table here, Tia?
All right, so what else I brought on my table? I have just plated up my fly pupae. So this is the larvae of a fly species, and this is the black and brown little wormy-like critters in the corner there. I'm trying to go for a simple look. I'm not going to try and overcomplicate my plate, and I'm actually about to come over the top with some serious protein here. So I almost gave it away now. The animal I'm about to show you is actually found all over Australia, and the ones that are down south are one of the more larger species, which means not only do they sometimes eat insects, they also like to feed on small mammals and maybe even tiny little birds too. And I've got some defrosted week-old chicks here. For you guys having lunch, maybe stop at this point. And what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna chop the legs off. I'm gonna try fillet it with my meat scissors here. Now, I like to do this for some of the similar species that you're going to be, that are related to the animal that we're going to see today. Also, our goannas love me to fillet the meat this way as well. So I'm going to come through like this. Might even try and get those wings off. It's really important not to hit the yolk sac, because then there is an absolute explosion that you really don't want to experience. So
Absolutely. We might come back and see the end result here. I think there's some garnishing happening on this side. Tell us about it.
Yeah, there sure is. I'm actually just about finished. I'm not quite as happy with the presentation as I'd hoped. I really wanted to have a very neat tower going on, but I'm pretty happy. I think it's pretty.
Why don't we get some feedback from the viewers on Rianne's presentation?
I'm loving yours, but what did I tell you about
Let's see, there's some finishing touches here on the top.
I've just garnished. We did add a few grapes just for dessert on top there, and just garnished those grapes. So I think it's looking amazing.
Excellent.
Making me hungry.
So we are getting close to the end of our countdown.
How many minutes?
We have got 40 seconds to go, everyone.
40 seconds.
Oh my gosh, you didn't give us any countdowns, Miss Host. Oh my, how am I meant to do this?
We have faith in you, Tia. We know that you can do it.
All right, got a plate up, got a plate up.
Go, Tia.
Dumbest thing. Oh yeah.
I think there's some final plating happening at Tia's station.
Yeah, I need my
Who's cleaning up after this?
all right.
Not
I'm
Rianne.
trying to get this centerpiece in here. Is it time for the final piece de resistance?
It is.
All right. I'm gonna come across with some extra Pretamax, and just for that final touch here. And I don't have a serving bowl, so what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna bring it into my hand here, and I'm gonna.
Excellent. I think that you've got just the right amount. Woo!
Are you stealing my ideas?
Guys, we have 10 seconds to go. I'm going to start counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Utensils down. That is it. I think that we should bring out the judges.
Well done, team.
Good luck, everybody else.
No, you can look.
All right. So we're going to start with the first judge, which is Tia's judge.
All right.
Who have you got?
Here is my beautiful, wonderful, and wild judge. This is Cynthia, and she is a tawny frogmouth. Lots of people think these guys are actually owls, but they are not. They are a bird of prey, however, and that's why I was producing an insect-heavy dish.
Right, we'll come back to see how Cynthia likes her meal. All right, who's next? Dan, I think you're ready, aren't you?
Our watery flying fox Mooney here. So he's my judge for today.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if he's interested in food at the moment, but you've got an amazing cocktail here, Mooney. So we'll lower you down, see what you think of that. Oh, yes, give me more. He loves it. Yep, straight in, look at that tongue. So these bats, they're critical to our ecosystem because they spread the nectar and pollen around the forest. So they're critical. They actually pollinate 60% of the food that we eat. So really, really important, guys. And I think Mooney is quite impressed with his bat cocktail.
Well, the viewers are going to decide which animal was the most impressed.
Look at that. Loving it.
So remember, guys, you are going to be voting in the comments below which animal you think
give me some pollen,
loved
guys.
their meal the
give
best.
me that pollen. Yep. Thank you.
Flour matches your ape.
Right, we'll move on to Dan's judge.
All right, here's Bob. I'm sure some of you are familiar with, and I went a bit creative today. What we're doing, provided I don't mess it up, I have gone Reptile Encounters logo, fruit and veggie salad.
That is impressive.
This is the most effort I've ever put into presenting a meal. You best eat it. There's the tongue. Well, that's a good sign. So he's smelling for his food with his tongue. They've got a Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth. This is just about top speed for a shingleback, so he's actually having a massive reaction to this. Are you going to come along and have an eat, or are you just going to sit down and lick it? You're going to lick it. Once you come a little bit closer, shove your face in there. They're also garbage gutses. So in the wild, they'll be eating fruits, vegetables. They love eating things like succulents, snails and slugs. Oh, come on. He's got a big head and a little neck. So he's got to figure himself out. Where you going? No, I know you can smell it on my fingers, can't you? Come on, chow him.
Matt Preston over here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Should have put a cravat on a shingleback.
we may have to come back to Bob, I think.
They get the slow reacting animal. Come on.
He's definitely giving it a good sniff.
Oh, he
going
does
straight in
look
for it.
like he's really interested.
Picking where he wants to start.
What's happening back there?
Yeah, hold
Oh, Mooney.
Yep.
Just wait
about
for
right.
it. He sneezed back
Yes.
Don't worry about the card. No respect for preservation and no.
Remember, guys, you are voting on the animal's reaction here. So what we might do is move on to Rianne, and we may come back to Bob here. We are going to finish off with Miss Cynthia in the background. So we'll move on to Rianne. Who have you got, Rianne?
So, the animal I was preparing food for today is Dave. You met him earlier. He is a long-nosed potteroo, and he, hopefully, is a bit hungry. Can you go away? Oh, see? I told you.
What is he going for first? What is he going for first?
It looks like an almond. It sounds like an almond. Don't mock me with the way I say it.
What's it called, sorry?
I can hear you all in the background.
It's an almond for everyone out there.
Excellent. So if you think they're out there, viewers, that Dave enjoyed his meal the most, make sure you put Dave in the comments below. If you think Mooney enjoyed his meal the most, make sure you put Mooney in the comments below. And we're going to just check back in with with Bob here.
He's into it. It's disappearing.
There we go.
You want that banana, don't you, mate? They got a bit of a sweet tooth as well.
If you think that Bob is enjoying his meal the most, make sure you comment Bob in the comments below.
Here you go, buddy.
Right, we're going to pick back up with Cynthia and finish off with her.
Okay, our animals at Reptile Encounters are a little bit spoiled, so I'm actually going to have to feed her myself. So I'm going to start off with some insects, and I'm going to use my hands for this. I'm going to pick up a clump of crickets. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to dangle it over her face. Can you see those beautiful little feathers that are on the top tip of her beak there? They are what we call trigger feathers. So when an insect hits that, okay, no, she's not doing that now. Hopefully she'll open up.
There we go.
And shovel that food down her mouth. Now, I'm going to pick the center of my plate as well. Let's see how she goes with a little chook leg. How about this one? There we go.
Excellent.
Down the hatch.
So if you viewers at home think that Cynthia enjoyed her meal the most, comment Cynthia in the comments below. All right, well just wait here and see if we get any feedback for everyone. So we're going to check back in with Bob while we're doing that.
Bob is smashing the banana apart at the moment. It's a bit stuck to the bottom though there, mate, isn't it? Here, do you want a hint?
Oh,
Banana?
spoon feeding the Bob.
What noise was that? Oh, you don't want it now? Okay, we're going to leave it there. You can do it yourself. You're a big boy. Come on.
Excellent. Why don't we have a look and see how Mooney's going?
Mooney is loving life. as elegant a meal as this one today. So he's been through, he's swallowed one of the grapes. Now he's onto a bit of nectar. And He's also finished off all the garnish on top of his cocktail.
Oh, yes.
Now he's getting right into that, so he's wondering why we don't prepare food like this every day. Not really feasible, Mooney, when you're a colony animal. But we might have to step up our game, I think. We'll speak to the keepers. And it is breeding season for the bats at the moment, so there is a bit of courting going on, so this may well help your chances, Mooney.
Cocktails do tend to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's check back in with Dave. Hey, Dave, you were eating so well. Come on back here.
He's pooed all over the table.
Have you? That's okay.
Excellent.
Has he tried some banana?
He is working his way through it. Let's see if, because it's a bit hidden under there. Would you like some of that? Nope.
Oh.
The almonds are too good.
He's choosing the almonds over everything else.
Yes. Hey?
All right, guys.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is we're going to end off here with these awesome animals. And remember to comment in the comments below. If you think Cynthia enjoyed hers the best, comment Cynthia. If you think it's Bob, comment Bob. If you think it's Mooney, comment Mooney. And if you think that it's good old Dave in the back there, comment Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a lot of fun like we did. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.